are you guys doing? Hope you're doing well. But if you're not, hopefully a couple songs will help cheer you up. We're going to sing a couple songs here today, and I hope you know the motions. First song that we're going to sing is I've Got Peace Like a River. You guys know the motions to that?
Yep.
How does it go? You've got peace like a river, okay? And then we have love like an ocean, okay? And then we have joy like
A fountain.
all right. So hopefully you're ready to go. You might want to stand up so you can do the motions with us. You ready? I got peace like the river. I got peace like the river. I got peace like the river in my soul. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean. I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. All three. I got peace like a river. I got love like an ocean. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got peace like a river. I got love like an ocean. I got joy like a fountain in my soul. All right. Well, hopefully you got a little bit of your blood flowing, because now we want to sing about who the king of the jungle is. Do you know who the king of the jungle is?
Yes.
Who's the king of the jungle?
Jesus.
Jesus is the king of the jungle. That's right. Who's the king of the jungle? Who's the king of the sea? Who's the king of the universe? The jungle and the sea. I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me and you. He's the king of the universe, the jungle and the sea. Who's the king of the forest? Caw-caw. Who's the king of the swamp? Chomp. Who's the king of the universe, the forest and the swamp? I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me and you. He's the king of the universe, the forest and the swamp. Who's the king of the deserts? Who's the king of the trees? Tweet, tweet, tweet. Who's the king of the universe, the desert and the tree? I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me and you. He's the king of the universe, the desert and the tree. Who's the king of the backyard? Who's the king of the house? Meow. Who's the king of the universe, the backyard and the house? I'll tell you, J-E-S-U-S. Yes, he's the king of me and you. He's the king of the universe, the backyard and the house. All right, Jesus is the king of the universe, and he wants you to follow him. And so really,
You know what animal follows really well? What animal follows really well?
Sheep.
Sheep follow really, really well. And so now we want to sing about being a sheep. And so we want you to sing with us nice and loud. Let's sing together. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. And I pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I don't wanna be a Pharisee. I don't wanna be a Pharisee. 'Cause they're not fair, you see. I don't wanna be a Pharisee. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. And I pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, ba, ba. I don't wanna be a Pharisee. I don't wanna be a Pharisee. 'Cause they're so sad to see. I don't wanna be a Sadducee. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. And I pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I don't wanna be a hypocrite. I don't wanna be a hypocrite. 'Cause they're not hip with it. I don't wanna be a hypocrite. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. And I pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I don't wanna go to Babylon. I don't wanna go to Babylon. 'Cause they just babble on and on and on and on and on. I don't wanna go to Babylon. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. And I pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I don't wanna be a goat. No. I don't wanna be a goat. No. 'Cause they got no hope. No. I don't wanna be a goat. No. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. And I pray the Lord my soul to keep. I just wanna be a sheep. Ba, 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 ba. All right. I am glad that you sang with us today, and hopefully you'll be back next time to sing some more. Let's see what's coming up next.
Jesus and his disciple friends walked along the road to Jerusalem. The disciples had seen and heard many exciting things while they traveled with Jesus. Now the disciples were excited because they thought that very soon Jesus would become king of their land. I think Jesus would make a wonderful king. What do you think? I think Jesus would make a wonderful king too. Oh, I do can't wait until he is our king. Can you imagine all the wonderful things he will do for us? All the people wanted Jesus to be king. They thought that if Jesus became their king, things would be better. The disciples wanted important jobs when Jesus became king. They talked about who would have the best job, and they argued about who would be first in the kingdom. Oh, I am going to be the best, and I'm going to be right next to Jesus when we go to heaven in the kingdom, and I will be known by everyone. I will be so important. No. I think I will have the most important job, and I will be the most important. Jesus loves me best. I will be first. Everyone knows that I am Jesus' favorite friend. Oh, and they argued and argued. And then James and John said to Jesus came along and he said, "What are you guys talking about?" And they said, "Oh, Jesus, when you are king, we want to sit right beside you. One of us could sit on your left and the other could sit on your right." Oh, the other disciples heard James and John talk to Jesus. That made them very angry. "What are you talking about? You don't get to sit on his left and right. I get to be with him. I get to be on his left." Oh, and they were just thinking that they deserved just as much as them to sit next to Jesus. Everyone wanted to be first. Jesus knew his friends didn't understand. Oh, you know that some people think they are first. They are better and greater than anyone else. But I see it differently. I think the greatest people are the people who think of others first. If you want to be first with me in my kingdom, you will think of others first. That is my way of being first. All the disciples listened quietly. They remembered how Jesus always helped others. They remembered how he made people feel better. They had seen him heal those who were blind. They had been there when he healed people who could not walk. They had watched him hold his children in his arms. They heard him speak kindly to everyone. When they thought of all this, they were ashamed. But Jesus smiled a big, warm smile. "I didn't come here to have people do things for me. I came here to do things for them. This is what I want you to do too. All of you." What about you, watching from home? Can you think of ways to make someone else happy? You can be a helper. Being first in Jesus' way, in my way, is very fun.
Alright, today I'm going to teach you a little trick to help you remember where true happiness finds. So everyone's going to need a sheet of paper. Just a blank one is fine. And let's say that this sheet of paper is anyone. You, your mom, your dad, a random person. And before sin, everything was perfect. This is a perfect sheet of paper. No blemish, no spot. But then sin came, and it made a fold. So we're just going to fold it right here. Doesn't have to be perfect. See, sin made a big fold in the paper. And then it makes you want to crave something for your happiness. So we're going to fold it one more time. Right here. Just take the corner and fold it over. What does this look like?
A house.
A house. Yeah, some people might try to find happiness in new houses and getting lots of houses. But you realize that houses don't give you happiness. So we do one more fold. What does this look like?
A plane.
A plane. Yeah, some people try to find happiness in visiting places and seeing the world and getting out. But that doesn't bring you happiness either. And then we realize that when we take all of these things and we put them aside and we don't focus on them, just put them aside. Yeah, some of those things are helpful and nice, but we shouldn't always be focusing them. We put them aside, and then we unfold our paper, and we realize what truly matters in life, what is truly going to bring us happiness. What does this look? The cross. Yeah, the only thing that's going to bring us happiness is Jesus and what he did for us on the cross. And he wants us to go to heaven with him, and that's the only thing that's going to make you happy. So maybe, boys and girls, you can go at home and put this on your refrigerator or hang it up in your room to help you remember that the only thing that's going to bring you happiness is when you focus on Jesus and not on earthly material things.
Hi everyone, it's Aunt Fernita. Today's story is called A Little Man with a Big Heart. The memory verse is from Luke chapter 19, verse 8. It says, "Here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor." Today's message is, I show others Jesus' love when I put wrongs right. Have you ever been to a parade or ball game and not been able to see very well? Maybe your father carried you on his shoulders. If so, you will understand how Zacchaeus felt when he got stuck at the back of a crowd. Zacchaeus lived in Jericho. He had one of the biggest and best houses in town. He was a very rich man, but no one liked him because everyone believed that he cheated people and kept their money. Everyone knew about it, but no one could do anything. Zacchaeus was the chief tax collector for the Romans. The Romans didn't care what he did as long as he gave them the right tax money. So Zacchaeus probably told people that their taxes had gone up. He collected more than he should, and he kept the extra money for himself. One day, Zacchaeus heard that Jesus was coming to Jericho. He had heard a lot about Jesus. He had heard how Jesus had healed the sick, the lame, and the blind. And some said that he had raised someone from the dead. All these things made Jesus special and made Zacchaeus want to meet him. Zacchaeus had heard about the tax collector Levi Matthew. Matthew had left everything to become one of Jesus' closest followers. People talked about it everywhere. Zacchaeus wondered, maybe Jesus has something to say to me. Yes, it was the talk of the town. Jesus was really coming to Jericho. Zacchaeus decided to try to catch a glimpse of the Master. He left his tax station and went out into the street. The street was so crowded, and the crowds were getting thicker. It was hopeless. Zacchaeus tried jumping up to see over their heads, but that was useless. He was so short, and no one would let him through. But he was determined. He would not give up. He must see Jesus. Zacchaeus looked up and down the street. He saw a big tree. Climbing trees was not the sort of thing grown men did, but there was no other way he could see Jesus. So up he climbed. He sat on a big branch and looked down the road. Jesus was coming his way. When Jesus reached the tree, he stopped and looked up. He saw Zacchaeus and smiled. Everyone in the crowd stopped too. They looked up and saw Zacchaeus. "Zacchaeus, come down. I'm going to your house today," Jesus said so everyone could hear. Zacchaeus could hardly believe his ears. Jesus going to his house? He climbed down the tree and led the way. The crowd moved aside, but people began to mutter. How can Jesus be the guest of a sinner? They wondered out loud. Zacchaeus said, "Lord, I will give half of everything I own to the poor. If I have cheated anyone, I will give them back 4 times as much." Jesus looked at Zacchaeus. Then he looked at the people who were muttering and criticizing him. Jesus said, "Today, salvation has come to this house. This is the reason the Son of Man came, to seek and save the lost." Before Zacchaeus saw Jesus, he had begun to show that he was sorry for cheating people. Now he confessed this before the crowd. He showed that loving Jesus helped him to make things right. Jesus can help you make things right too.
Created and produced by Falvo Fowler. This podcast is read by Franita Buddy Fullwood for Gracelink.net. Animation and artwork by Diogo Godoy. Audio is post-produced by Faith Toe at Studio El Piso in Singapore. The theme music is by Clayton Kinney. The audio engineer was Maurice Bailey.